Hey, this is Jaime Ross with Coldwell Banker, and I am here on site today at one of my new listings. It's going to go live later this week. It's going to be located in Olive Branch, Mississippi. But what I wanted to do for this particular YouTube is I wanted to kind of showcase what it takes to get a house on the market. So I've already been working with this seller to prepare the house and kind of get it staged up and get it ready to go for photography. So today we're going to be having our professional photographer here, which I use Snap Sold Photography, located here in the Mid-South area of Memphis and North Mississippi, and they're going to be doing some photos, and then I am going to shoot a Matterport 360 tour this afternoon as well. In addition, we're going to notice in all the bedrooms and pretty much every room in every house, I've made sure that we had all windows opening and tried to get the blinds set as close as possible so that they all were matching. Opened all the curtains. I have all lighting on. And also, you know, as much wall space showing as possible so it makes the room seem bigger. They had some larger furniture in here when we first started talking about listing the house. They actually had a sectional here in the living room. And so what we did was we had them remove the sectional, which opened up the space. You can see my photographer walking around in the background. Opened up the space kind of to showcase just how big this living room is. They also had some pieces here on this wall. We removed those and really just neutralized the space to get it prepared for buyers to walk in so that they can feel at home and feel like they could just move right in. Over here in this corner, she relocated her birds, which do talk, so that's fun to kind of have some conversation today. She had this sofa that's now in the living room actually sat over here, and so we moved that, made room for the birds back here, and then she already had her breakfast table here. Did some clearing of some counter spaces to showcase this absolutely stunning island. So even though every room may not be perfectly staged for its actual use, like you may not have a bedroom set up as a bedroom, but it's still a really good space, and so no matter what the homeowner has in there, it's just, there's always a way to kind of organize it and make it neat looking. And so that's what I do on the day of photography, or a couple of days before, because I usually visit the property a few days before we actually come in and shoot video and still photography. So in this space, I'm going to show you, it is actually a bedroom, but it's more set up as just a kind of a catch-all room. It's not necessarily a space if they need it, and so they are moving, and so they use this to kind of stage some items that they were going to be selling, keeping, and donating. So I'll just show you this room. So while it's not set up as a bedroom, it's organized, it's pretty clear. You know, the other thing that we try to do when we're getting ready to put a house on the market is we want to make sure the house showcases space. So that includes underneath cabinets, closets, not seeing things sticking out from under beds, underneath, you know, nothing just stored against the wall, things like that. So I always try to work with my clients to make sure that their cabinetry is neatly organized, because buyers will open it up. So you want them to open it up and to feel like, oh yeah, there's plenty of space in this house. It's very organized. Another thing is just to make sure all the appliances look really good. Outdoor space is super important, especially since we all have experienced what 2020 was like. A lot of people were trapped inside their homes, and that is why a lot of people are moving today, is they want a little more space. They want to be able to enjoy their home. They want to be able to spread out. So having an outdoor space and really having it staged and showcased for buyers is super important. So if you have a great outdoor space, use it, set it up, make it feel welcoming. This space looks totally transformed since we started working on getting this property ready. Was using it for, you know, exercise. She still has her exercise equipment over here, so she's still able to use it the way she wants to use it, but now she has seating, flowers, her barbecue accessories. Tell us how important lighting is when you're taking photos.
Well, it's it defines the character of the space, you know, but it's not always a sunny day that everybody thinks sun is the best thing, but sun is great, but other times even soft light is nice. But the really important thing inside is to have all your light fixtures set up with bulbs, no burned out bulbs, and have the color match so that the right ones are warm and they match each other, especially in a fixture that has multiple bulbs. Be sure all the bulbs are the same color. But other than that, just be ready.
The next step in our day of photography is we're going to shoot a Matterport. And what the Matterport is basically it takes a scan of the whole house. It does a 360-degree tour of the property. So this allows buyers, people who are interested in the house, to just walk through the property. You can scroll around the house. You can scroll up and see everything from the floor all the way up to the ceiling. And to do that, I use a really neat camera system called Matterport. This is my Matterport camera. It's the Pro 2. I've owned this camera for a little over a year now. I had a different version before, so I've been shooting Matterport photography for my properties for a couple of years. Before I shot them on my own, I hired a photography company to do it for me, but then I decided that I wanted a little more flexibility and freedom to be able to do it when I needed to do it, and so I invested in the system. So another thing that I use is my GoPro, and I have it on a gimbal. Not even sure the name brand of the gimbal, but I like to just take a little bit of video as I am walking through the property and then put together cool little vignettes of the property to put on YouTube, social media, wherever I want to use them, just to kind of showcase the house, because I find that different buyers want to look at the property in different angles and different medias and different formats. People like Instagram, people like TikTok, people like LinkedIn, Facebook, the MLS, you know, all the different syndicated websites. So I like to have something for each. I'll be shooting the Matterport tour using my iPad. And so I've already kind of got it set up. And so basically I just need to start my first scan. It will do a complete scan around the room, and I'll show what that looks like. Just kind of stay out of the way. One of the handy little features I added to my Matterport system this year was putting it on a dolly, and I absolutely love it. And another tip for preparing for your photo shoot is to depersonalize the house as much as possible. If you've ever stayed in an Airbnb or hotel or anything like that, you know, when you walk into the space and it feels depersonalized, it feels very neutral inside one of those places, and you feel comfortable when you go in, you feel like that is your space for the time that you have rented it. And that's what we want our people who are visiting your home when they're looking to purchase it. We want them to walk in and to feel very neutral and very depersonalized and very much like it could be their space, and they are just, you know, they could just move right in. Well, that's a wrap. Hope you learned a lot today on how to prepare your house to go on the market through photography.